Alright, welcome to DentReviews. Today I'm going to be showing you how to get a good fit with the Etymotic ER4 series earphones. The ones I'm using now are the XR series, the new model, but they're pretty much all exactly the same. This one has the medium-sized gray foam tip, and first what you do is you basically just squeeze the tip like this. I don't roll it or anything, I squeeze it, move my hand, squeeze it, and just kind of go around until you just get it pretty much all squished down. And then once you do that, you go into your ear pretty quickly. You don't want to like jam it in your ear, but don't wait long. So squeeze it, let go, put it in your ear. Then I usually pull my ear up and rotate a little bit and kind of loosely push in and spin the ear tip. And what you're doing is you're kind of letting it go into the contour of your ear. Everyone's ears are probably a little bit different. But if you just kind of gently rotate it and push it and even maybe wiggle it, it can find the way through your ear that works the best. And you can see how deep I got that. And I wasn't even really pushing. I was just kind of spinning it and moving it as it went through my ear canal. At first it may be a little bit uncomfortable because your ears aren't used to it, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. And what you can do with this earphone is you could actually spin it around this way, and you could wear it around your ear, as some people do, depending on how you want to have it sticking out. You could have it around your ear that way. And then on the other tip, the silicone ear tip, some people think it's kind of gross, but I just lick my fingers just a little bit and just kind of wrap them around the ear tip just to get it moist, but not like really, really wet. And then I do the same exact thing, just pull my ear up, push it in, and I can get these like incredibly deep. And that gives you a nice deep seal, and it causes you to get the most noise isolation, the most comfort, and the best bass response that you're going to get. Now when I pull them out, just to be safe so I don't lose the ear tip in my ear, which actually hasn't happened except one time when I had a really old ear tip, I just pull the ear up a little bit. Sometimes I just kind of wiggle it gently to break the seal and just kind of pull it out as I wiggle. You never want to really turn the ear tip back and forth hard, but just kind of grip it. And also don't ever hold it at the strain relief, but hold it at the body of the earphone as much as possible. And you're just kind of rotating and pushing in, and if you need the extra help, you can pull up on your earlobe. And that doesn't always help. I think it's probably dependent on your ears, but it basically can straighten the ear canal a little bit so that you can push it in. See, I can do it without even licking the ear tip because I'm used to it. But if you need a little bit of moisture to help it slide in easily, it helps to keep your ear from rubbing and becoming raw and sticking. So that's the basics. It's pretty much the same with every ear tip. The main concept is that you just want to get it fairly deep. It doesn't have to be all the way in your ear and hidden, but you want it fairly deep. You want it sealed completely so that you don't hear any outside noise, so that you get a nice deep bass response. And if you have it too far out, like if you seat it like that, you may not get a good seal, so you may not get good isolation, but you're also going to have resonances from the treble, and it's going to affect the frequency response. You'll get peaks and possibly dips in the response, so it's not going to sound as accurate. So I would recommend, at a minimum, you get it at least to the point where it's in your ear so that the strain relief is almost touching your ear. And if you can go deeper than that, even better. And that should give you the best response and the best quality experience when you're listening to your Etymotic ER4. What you'll find with the Etymotic foam tip versus the silicone tip is that the foam tip is wider on the outer side, whereas this is more narrow. So what happens is, as you compress this and then release it to put it in your ear, this will start to expand immediately. Not too quickly, but immediately it will start the expansion process. So even if you jam it in your ear quickly and start pushing, it's still going to be expanding as you slide it in your ear. So I find that it's a little bit more difficult to get the foam tips as deep as it is the silicone tips, because if these are moist especially, they will just continue to slide in based on the tapered shape and the moisture letting it slide in your ear. Whereas this is on the kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. It's a little bit more dry and gritty feeling, so that as you push it in your ear, not only is it expanding, but it doesn't slide as easily. Now, when you're familiar with them and you get used to compressing them and putting them in fairly quickly while spinning them, you can get it very, very deep, more than deep enough, quickly with no problem, and it doesn't cause any discomfort. But at first you may find that they don't go deep enough, or they just don't work well, and I just would recommend that you continue to give them a shot. And I also noticed that about
3 or 4 times after wearing these, after compressing them a few times and having them be warmed up in your ear a few times, they start to become easier to insert. I'd almost say that the more you wear them, the easier they are to insert until they start to get really dirty. Then they might be a little bit more hard to compact easily. But in general, I prefer these for comfort because of the softness and just the way they expand your ear. But the new silicone tips are excellent. They're slightly different in the way that they insert than the old tips, but they look essentially the same. They're almost the identical shape, and these are just clear versus the gray. But I can get them incredibly deep with these tips if I moisten them a little bit.
So if you have any questions, just leave them below, and thank you for watching.